Hello. What we're going to look at now is area and perimeter of compound shapes like that. So we've got a funny L shape on its back and we haven't got a formula to work out the area of that. Let's have a look how we do it. Let's put some measurements in. There we are. And if we are asked to calculate the area of that shape, then we're going to split it into two rectangles. And there's normally more than one way we can do it. One way of splitting this into two rectangles would be to do this. There, we've got the green one and the yellow one. Now let's get rid of some of the measurements we don't need. So we can see the area of the green rectangle is 8 times 2, and the area of the yellow is 3 times 4. So the total area is 8 times 2 plus 3 times 4, and if we add those up, we get 28 square meters. So some of the shapes we might need to split up into 3, 4, even 5 rectangles, but that's the strategy we use for doing it. Split it up into rectangles. There is another way we could have done this. We could have said, okay, what we are viewing this as is a big rectangle with a bit chopped out of it. So there's the big rectangle there, that green one, and that's 11 across by 4 up. So the area of that is 11 times 4. Now the bit that's been cut away from that big green one is the little rectangle there, the little yellow one. And that was 8 times 2. So 8 times 2 is 16. And now to get the area of the blue L shape, we subtract the little one from the big one, and we get the same answer as we did the other way, which is good. Okay, so there we are. Let's have a look then. This is the kind of question we're probably going to get, where we're not given all the measurements, and we have to calculate some missing lengths. So let's have a look then at y first. Now that's 14 across there, that one's 9. Alright, so y must be 14 take away 9, which is 5 meters. Let's have a look at x. Right, so there's a 7 over there and a 4 there, so x must be 7 take away 4, which is 3 meters. And now we can work out the area of that shape because we know all the lengths. Okay, remember also they're not to scale, and they do this a lot in exams. They will try and mislead you by giving a confusing diagram which is drawn not to scale. Right, let's have a look. We've got the green one, we've got the yellow one, and it's similar to the one we did before but with different numbers. 9 times 3, 5 times 7, total area, add them up, and we get 62 square meters. We could have done the big one minus the little one. Now the big one would have been 14 times 7. The little one that we've cut away would be 9 times 4, and that gives us 62 as well. So two ways of working out the area of a compound shape. What about the perimeter? Well, the perimeter, we just need to work out all the lengths and then just add them up. And be careful you don't go around more than once, and we'll put one in twice. But if we add up all of those, we're going to get 42 meters. So quite a nice little question. In an exam, just needs a bit of thought and a bit of calm when you're working things out. Okay, so let's have a look at some different kinds of shapes. So we've got this funny looking thing here, and we've got two shapes in this one. We've got a rectangle that's 8 meters by 5 meters, and then we've got a semicircle, and the diameter, the distance from edge to edge through the center, is 8 meters. Now, for the area of a circle, remember the formula we've got is pi r squared, so we need the radius. So if the diameter is 8, we could say the radius is 4. Okay, the diameter is 8, radius is half the diameter. So we've got everything we need now. Let's work out the area. So the rectangle, 8 meters by 5 meters. Well, the area of that is 8 times 5, which is 40 square meters. And then we've got a semicircle of radius 4 meters. Well, the area of a circle is pi r squared, so the area of a semicircle must be half times pi r squared. So in this case, half times pi times 4 squared, which comes out to be 25.1 square meters. Add them up, and we get the total area. There we go. Important to remember that the area of a circle is pi r squared, so the area of a semicircle is half pi r squared. Don't forget that bit. Now we've got to calculate the perimeter, the distance around the outside. Okay, so let's look at the rectangle. Now, do we need all 4 sides of the rectangle? No, we only need 3 sides of the rectangle. because that fourth side is where the semicircle and the rectangle meet. So we want the perimeter of the three sides is 5 plus 8 plus 5. And then we've got a semicircle of radius 4. Now the circumference of a circle is 2 pi r. So the circumference of a semicircle is a half times 2 pi r. Now half times 2 is 1. So that means the circumference of a semicircle is pi r. We know pi, the radius is 4, that's what that comes out to be. So the total distance around the outside of that shape, we add them up, 30.6, and that's the perimeter of that shape. Important to remember, the circumference of a circle is 2 pi r, or pi d. The circumference of a semicircle is then half times 2 pi r, which is pi r, or a half times pi d. There's a funny looking one. And this time we've got 3 shapes. Okay, so we've got a rectangle there, and that's 13 by 4.5. And the area of that, 13 times 4.5. Then we've got a quarter circle of radius 6 centimeters. Okay, so that's the radius. That's from the edge to the center. So a quarter circle, well, the area is a quarter times pi r squared. And if you work that out, you get 28.3. And then we've got the last one, which is a quarter circle, and this time the radius is different, it's 4.5, so it's a quarter times pi times 4.5 squared. So we've worked out the area of each individual shape, we've been careful with the parts of the circle, now we add them all up. And there it is, 102.7 centimeters squared. So that's good. So now we can move on to the next video, which is looking at exam type questions. Yes, bye for now.